I'm inside and I saw For a Few Dollars More. It is directed and written by Sergio Leone, and if you haven't seen this movie, I will spoil it for you. This movie starts and we're following Manco and Mortimer. Do you know who these people are? Manco's the guy with the poncho from last movie. I didn't catch his name last movie, but in this movie I do remember catching his name. They are both bounty hunters. I didn't know that Manco was a bounty hunter. They both roll into town. They separately learn about this guy who they're trying to get, part of this big old gang of people, trying to get these people, trying to get them to be like, I'm gonna shoot you. Trying to do a little standoff at the end of the movie. But no, they're not actually doing that at the moment. They're instead trying to figure out what the heck is their plan, okay? We got this big old gang of people trying to rob a bank, and I'm like, bro, what's up with robbing banks? Why can't you just work? Here's a big pet peeve of mine. When people steal from the registers at the establishments, I don't understand why. Like, what could you possibly need $100 for? They max keep maybe $100 in the register at times, maybe $200. Like, why do you want to steal it? Just have the job so you can have income for frickin' ever. And if you're caught stealing, then people are going to be like talking about it. Oh, they stole from me. Oh, they had a big old stealing party. Ooh. And then you're not going to be able to get hired. Why do you got to steal, dude? I mean, I get why this gang has to steal. They're stealing because they're wandering. They're a bunch of cowboys. They're just off we go. No one can find us. No one can challenge us. People are scared of us. And I'm like, I find this to be, I don't know if reasonable is the word, but it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense why they just straight up steal. I personally wouldn't do it, but I get it. Because they're a big old thief, this big old gang, and they want to rob El Paso, which has a fortress for a bank. These are the exact words used in the movie, fortress for a bank. So they plan on going to El Paso to have a little bit of a steal. Big old gunfight. This movie is pacing. Even though there's not a ton of story beats that happen in this movie, the pacing is tense. There's a lot of tension, and I like the building of the tension. Last movie, A Fistful of Dollars, there was this tension. But this movie, there's even more added to the lore. Mortimer is a colonel. And I'm just thinking, when I first hear the word colonel, I think of Colonel Sanders, because of pop culture. And it makes me want to have chicken. Oh man, I could really use some KFC right now. Good thing I live in the city with the best KFC chicken in the world. And I bet you don't have good KFC where you're at, because I have the best one. I can guarantee, because I live in the city with the first KFC. And they have to be good KFC, or else the business will tank. It's a tourist attraction. You gotta go to the first KFC to really experience good KFC. Why am I talking about KFC now? So in this movie, there's no KFC. There's a lot of guns, though. I like the I like the explosions. I like the attempt of robbing the bank. They have the safe. They pull the safe to an undisclosed location. I'm trying to open it. And then, oh wow, more people are here. We gotta probably move, maybe, possibly. More gunshots. Wanna know some backstory? I got you some backstory right here. So, Indio is the main bad guy. He's the main antagonist of this movie. He had ripped a woman, and now he just smokes drugs. Oh, I gotta forget. I'm like, you shouldn't have done the deed if you didn't want to remember it. Like, come on, guy. Why did you do that in the first place? And I'm like, okay, that's fun. That's a really good villain move. And he's robbing banks. Not a good guy. I want Mortimer and Manco to get him down. To put him down. Put him in the ground. Put him 6 feet below. We have these two boys. These two bounty killers team up after they realize they can't back down from each other. They're going to team up. There's a big old bounty on all of these guys' heads, and so they'll split the money. I'm like, okay, cool, they're having a little team up. I thought they would be fighting against each other, but they're actually not. So they have a plan. They're gonna go to the dudes. They're gonna go to to a specific place where they're at. They're gonna sneak up behind them. And then cool gun action at the very end of the movie. And I'm like, okay, cool, I wonder what Mortimer's motivation is. Turns out, the person Indio had non-consensual sexual relations with is Mortimer's sister. And so, having him kill all of his gang members, all his gang buddies, I mean, and then Indio, at like a cool final high noon duel, I thought that was really cool. I'm like, yes! Yes! Woo! Yeah! This makes great sense. He's got revenge. They have a whole bunch of people in the back of their car that they're gonna cash in for money. And then I'm just thinking, aren't you concerned that filling the cart like that and not even putting the back up, that the bodies are just gonna fall out at some point if you hit a really bumpy road? If you hit a really bumpy rock or something? Why? Why are you doing this? Overall, I enjoyed this movie. There's a lot more character building in this one than the last one. And I know who the frickety-frick the guy's name is for the Poncho Man. His name is Monko. And then I like their different shooting styles. Monko's go with the gun. And then we have Mortimer uses a rifle, which is pretty neat. I like how good of guns they have. They have good guns, they are good at their guns, and I like this movie. The pacing is very, I wouldn't say slow, but I'd say tense is probably the good way to describe this pacing of this movie. I like this pacing of this movie. It makes me feel that I'm in the world. There's a lot of moments where it's showing like the town that they're in, the hustle and bustle of the town, and this accounts for like 30 seconds of establishing shots. I'm like, okay, cool. This is a nice movie. This is a cozy movie. This is a movie in which I can feel like I'm in the world that they're in, and I like the sense of world building of this movie. So because of that, and I like the acting and all the camera movements, the blocking, man, good composition is so undervalued in modern movies these days. I'm looking at the composition, a lot of these shots, including the blocking. The blocking refers to the actor's movements. The composition itself is just I'd say it's like a flat image. No regard for the actor's movements. It's if you just took a screenshot and you see all the shapes, the positive and all the negative shapes. The negative shapes, if you have a lot of broken up negative shapes, that's good composition. Like the background behind me, actually, the white part for the sky is the negative space and it's broken up a lot. And you have the positive spaces, me and the trees behind me. This is good composition. There's a lot of good composition in the movie, and I really liked the blocking and the camera movement to go along with it. So I gotta give this movie a solid 8 out of 10. If you like this review, watch another one. The platform really likes that. If you want a fast track movie review, you can do that for $20 reviews at patreon.com/ASEPresents. And if you'd like to help support the daily grind of all them daily movie reviews, you can go to this link and find the way you can help support the daily grind of all them daily movie reviews. So go here. And until next time, in salad sauce, I'll see you later, my sour croutons and bacon bits.